Good morning. This is Derek Demore with Futures Demore and Futures Networks Live. We're here to hopefully quickly go over opening bell and end of day predictions. I want to do these a lot quicker. So please read the summary. You can go back and watch our prior videos, the ones that I've done last week, and see what my predictions were. But you can also read this to get a breakdown. I will go over them a little bit. Now, here we go to opening bell. As we see, opening bell was our call was for a short down based on the historicals. I personally saw it as an up. So, um, but we want to stay consistent with the market. So what we ended up doing was going short the market, and as it says here, we were we had the we got 3 points short. We got 16 points short on the NAS. And then the market turned around. So you can see what happened. Boom, boom, boom. We lost really quickly on the S&P, and we lost really quickly on the NAS. Thankfully, the Russell was the one that had rotation out of it, and we were able to get our 10 points here, losing 12 and losing 4 here. So that was the market. On our limit orders, kind of a very interesting situation where I went long and I got in at some spots and filled pretty well. So I filled really quickly on the NASDAQ. I got in at 22, 222.4. There was a reason I saw a line here, and 22, I think it was 0.3 or 0.4. Anyway, put a limit order at 17.4, and then my stop on both was at 12.4, and it came down to 12.5. So missed me by either a tenth or 0.2 of a point. Turned around. I took on 2 contracts, I took 1 point when it got back up, because my average price was down in this area at 17. So I took a point very quickly, and then I ended up taking 10 on the other 2. So average 5.5 on 4 contracts, 24 on 2. And this one, it was, I was in this kind of DCA situation while this was going on. And so what I decided to do was switch and take 6 and 8. So I ended up with 7 points on average. So it was a little bit of an interesting day. Now let's go to the end of day, and you can see what we did there. We actually, if we pull up the MES first, you'll see that we had, wherever it is, there it is. Okay, so on our dailies, we almost hit, and as you can see, came really close on all 3 predictions. I hit the MES by, I call that a hit, and I missed by 5 points on the M2K and the MNQ, which you'll hear. And as I mentioned, I said to people, we should go long at OB, even though the call was short. So I still see 41.51, 50 to 52 as the line in the sand. We're above all the EMAs, as you can see, and even on the hourly, I think, chart. And we were in a rising wedge, so that was kind of accurate. It was over here. We came down, but then we just stalled at the 21-day. And so now we're back in a channel, and I see this going, potentially up to the top. EOD is 42.10, or potentially maybe back down to 41.70. So I will change those right now. So this is where the EOD is for the MES. And now let's go to the MNQ, and we'll get rid of this, and we'll pull this over, and you can see where, again, kind of hit it, ended up missing it by 5 points. The NAS is also above all the EMAs currently, and it finally broke the 13.6, which was my key spot. And so I'm just basically saying, EOD at 13.764 or 13.567 if it can't stay above this 13.6. So I will place those right now. All right, so this is where the final choices are for the MNQ. And now let's go to the Russell. So very similar here. You can see where my thoughts were. It tested the 2200 again. It stayed above it. It closed for the third time above it, which is very important. I mean, we came up right to it before, and then it went back down, but then we closed above it. Now this is the third day. It looks like it's going to end there. So really needs to close above the 2236 marker that I've been talking about. So end of day 2245 or 2221. So that's, I'll pause and show that. All right, here we go for the final, and we'll see where we are on our totals of the day. So here's the totals. The market ended up having plus or minus 6 points, but positive on the currency units because the M2K was the one that I went positive on, giving me 100 currency, minus 48 and minus 40. On the limit orders, kind of had a really nice day because I came really close to stopping out on 4, which would have basically put me at maybe a little loss. But I ended up plus 276 currency units and plus 36.5 points because of the 5.5 on 4 contracts on the Russell. So all in all, very positive day. Thanks for being with Futures to More, Futures Networks Live, Futures Networks Crypto, options, everything going on here. This is great. And aloha. We will see you tomorrow for positive points for breakfast. Thank you.